So over the weekend, the Trump administration forcefully captured Nicolas Maduro and his wife from Venezuela without notifying Congress. President Trump is saying the U.S. will run the country of Venezuela and its oil reserves in the meantime. How do you see this playing out? What's next?
Well, I mean, we've seen this play out before. I guess this is one of the reasons that some people don't want us to know history, is so that we are doomed to repeat it, and seemingly that is what we are doing. Here's the problem. The biggest problem that I have is that it was illegal. Everything that this administration does is illegal, and so I don't know how you take the moral high ground when you are actually executing something in an unconstitutional way in the first place. Right. And so if you had what you needed, which he truly believes that, I guess, then you just would have went to Congress and gotten us involved. But instead, you know, we're hearing leaks and reports that he talked to oil folk, but he didn't talk to Congress.
Right.
What kind of sense does that make? Because the last time I checked, whether or not you control an oil company does not entitle you to deciding whether or not the United States goes in. And when you look at the press conference that he held, he didn't talk about democracy. Now, I know there are a lot of people that are talking about this is good for the Venezuelan people because Maduro was a bad guy, but that's not why he did it. He has not cared about Venezuelans at all. Let me be clear about that part.
That's true.
And here's the receipts. The Enemy Aliens Act, which most of us had never heard of because it's from the 1700s, he invoked it specifically because of Venezuelans. He said, we are being attacked and invaded by Venezuelans. That was number one. Then the next thing that you know, CCOT, that's where he was sending Venezuelans. Remember the 60-minute episode that they did not want to air about how they were treating them, mistreating them at CCOT? That's where he sent Venezuelans. Then after that, he was illegally killing folk, saying that, oh, well, they're bringing drugs because it was supposedly about fentanyl, which is not where we get fentanyl,
no, it isn't.
to be clear. So then he killed over 100 people with these bombs that he was dropping. And then when he went in to get Maduro, he killed even more Venezuelans. This ain't about Venezuelans. I get that there are people that don't like the leader, but guess what? There are a lot of people that don't like our leader. And regardless, somebody coming into the United States and grabbing our leader in the middle of the night and killing people in this country, I'm sure everybody would be outraged at them doing it that way.
Yes.
It's the way that it's done.
But nobody stops.
It's the way
him,
that it was
Jasmine.
done.
Nobody stops.
I'm trying, Joy. I'm trying.
She's
I know
trying.
you are.
Let me ask you quickly. Let me ask you quickly because we're running out of time. Today is January 6th. It marks the anniversary, the 5-year anniversary of the insurrection on the Capitol. But President Trump has pardoned everyone involved. He shut down Jack Smith's investigation. We just heard from Jack Smith. He continues targeting his political opponents. Now, why do you think so many Americans are minimizing January 6th? And as someone who was in the room, my understanding, for Jack Smith's deposition and testimony, what was most striking to you?
Jack Smith was the right guy for the job. I do want the American people to know that. This was someone who not only had the experience, but also understands what it is to actually be a prosecutor. You are to seek justice, not convictions. He made it very plain that it didn't matter what political affiliation someone had, he would have done the exact same thing.
He's worked for both Republicans and Democrats.
He's worked for both, and so he was very credible. And, you know, I do want to just say this. Everyone wants to talk about how Maduro was illegitimate. As we sit here on January 6th, I do want to be clear. Somebody else was trying to be a Maduro of the United States. Somebody else wanted to do the exact same thing. The difference is Maduro was successful. I also want to point out that we now, in the state of Texas and around this country, are enduring this ridiculous redistricting scheme. Again, because he doesn't really believe in free and fair elections. So again, this idea that he is doing this for a great reason, he made it clear, because it's my understanding that when he went into that press conference, he said at least 20 times, oil, 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 oil.
He sure did.
Listen to him when he speaks. He's telegraphing. And so Jack Smith, I hate that he did not get his day in court. I hate that for the American people.